It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the New York Giants and the Los Angeles Rams, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A give to Williams, running right. Down to about the 37.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Back to throw, Stafford. Got a man over the middle, it's Williams. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They shakes him off. And that is incomplete. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick here is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Right back to Tracy. And he'll make it only to the 43, a gain of 2.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
Here's 3rd and 7. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. From the shotgun, Wilson. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It's a gain of 6, but not enough, as he'll be forced to punt on their first drive of the game.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That play was all Bobby Okereke as he got there and dragged him down for the loss.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now Stafford. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Still going. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10, right at the 40. Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 10 more there and another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick six.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick sixes and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
Extra point try good by Gano. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. Well, it doesn't take any great analysis. No jokes, partner, okay? All right, on this one. But we just know that we're going to see this as the game moves forward. There's going to be two guys on him on just about every snap.
It's kind of a dare to throw his way, but they have to keep throwing his way.
The benefits could be great. You throw it to a great receiver, he could come down with it anyway.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 3. Now Wilson running left on the option. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the 1st down. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Brought down on the play by Kobe Turner. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
He'll get this into the hands of the wideout from LSU. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. In motion right is Robinson. Now Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 22-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
To throw again is Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. There's Wilson to throw. That's complete to Slayton. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Wilson now off the bootleg. This is caught. It's Robinson with a Giants touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Gano now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was finished up by a touchdown catch from Wan'Dale Robinson. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
To throw is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick-6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick-6.
Gano for the extra point. And it's 21-3. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. It's caught here by Adams. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
In motion goes the tight end. Now it's Stafford. Got a man. It's Higbee, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. He's going to find Atwell open downfield. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, it's Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. 2-2 Atwell from 4 yards out. And the Rams get a bit closer. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
A try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. New York set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They'll go again with Tracy. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
17 yards and a giant first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
In motion left, Robinson.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
That'll go as a pickup of 8.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson.
He's got Slayton on the slant. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. To throw is Wilson.
And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Throwing is Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Gano now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. That time a 9-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
But Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
Now Stafford.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A.
Tutu Atwell
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Rams get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Giants now are going to take over late in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. This pass into the hands of Bellinger.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
Now Wilson.
Now this thrown deep for Slayton.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. That is caught. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Throwing again here, Wilson. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this will remain an 11-point spread.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And it's complete to Adams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Nifty move. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
61 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
In motion, the tight end. Here's Wilson.
There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd and a couple.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Running left is Tracy. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That second down play nets a -4.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. Gano's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off from the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Here's Stafford.
They'll find a man over the middle, Tutu Atwell.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
To throw is Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
First target, first catch, and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The left side throw complete to Adams. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second and a couple. Throwing again is Stafford. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
This 2nd and 4.
Stafford now to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete.
And the Rams are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Stafford.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Here's Stafford. His throw incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Rams.
Puka Nacua
From 4 yards out.
and the Rams have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the first half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Extra point attempt to come here. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action now. Wilson rolling to his left. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Now Wilson. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Here's 2nd and 3. Once again, he finds Slayton.
And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 31-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
That's complete to Robinson. Oh, good move. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Wilson will throw again. This is caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just...
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Gano for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Powering his way forward. Past midfield, look out. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
The Rams offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
Back to throw, Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 5.
Now Stafford.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Stafford. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Stafford.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Throwing is Stafford. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now it's Stafford.
To the right side and complete to Atwell.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Stafford.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Stafford looks to throw again. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Stafford. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown.
Puka Nacua
with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Rams have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. A 10-play drive that time. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They go play action with Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Oh, he's made him work for over half the game now. He's been the artful dodger back there, but there it is. Finally, they get to him for a sack and a big loss. Give credit to the defense for their tenacity to finally hang with it and get him down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Here's Smith to return it.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10.
The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now an injury timeout, and that is Devontae Adams, who is in some discomfort following that play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and a couple.
To throw is Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Open man is Atwell, complete.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now 2nd and 3.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford.
He'll get that complete to Parkinson.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset.
An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4.
To the air again, Stafford.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Stafford now to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Here comes 2nd down at 5.
Now it's Stafford. Over the middle, he's got the hook up to Whittington. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves them out there with another chance.
Again from the 15, 2nd and 10.
Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
Back to throw. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Puka Nacua.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Rams are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes.
Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now.
Here's Wilson. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt.
Second and 6 coming up.
Now Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
Throwing now is Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
And that score in this time frame, that's like a big reveal at the end of a great movie, isn't it? Out of nowhere, almost, it appears, they get it done. How about that score?
Finishes like this is why we love sports. This is why we love the game of football.
So glad that we got to be here to watch this one.
Gano now to add the extra point. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. 5 plays there on that drive. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line.
Sheds off the tackle.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it to 26.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. So the game will continue for at least one more play.
Cannot finish a game on a defensive penalty. That's why they get one more untimed attempt.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown with zeros on the clock. And an extra point will send us to OT.
So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5.
Now for the all-critical extra point. And he's got it. No problems there. The extra point up and good, and we are headed to overtime. And we have free football. Overtime, here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
So it's the Rams who are going to get the football first as we are back underway here in overtime. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg.
He'll get this one complete to Atwell.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Well, a little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If he makes someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play. And 3rd and 8 now. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 36. On the counter, here's Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Here's Stafford.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Stafford now to throw.
Oh, and that's so close to being intercepted. That could have been a big turnover in overtime if he had held on. Instead, though, it is still 4th down.
And here in overtime, that had the potential to be the definition of a game-changing interception. But he couldn't find a way to pull it in. And that's a disappointment there.
And his kick is good. And they have regained the lead. That was a big risk here in overtime. It sent him out to fire away from long distance, but he knocks it through to give him the lead.
Edgy, don't you think? Because if he misses there, ball goes to the spot of the kick, correct?
Yep.
And guess what? That only leaves about, 20 yards or so for them to go downfield and be in position themselves. So you have confidence in him, and you have confidence in your defense to go ahead and let him kick that one.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
And now out come the Giants.
Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? The overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
3 points here are a must. A touchdown would win it. Here's 2nd down.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
He's got this complete to Robinson.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 42.
With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. He's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2 is not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
Here's Wilson.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
To throw again is Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They sort of got a new lease on life there. If he picks that off, this ball game's over.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear it. My defensive backs coach at Tennessee, a lost opportunity is never regained. Used to drive him crazy when I dropped those potential interceptions, as that one was there.
Play action. Now Wilson. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Wilson.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. This to keep the game alive. And the defense is going to let him think about it a little as they use their 2nd timeout here. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Gano's kick is good, and we are tied once again here in the overtime session. Both teams swapping field goals on their respective first drives of overtime, so now, you know the drill, it's on to old school sudden death.
Yeah, it sounds exciting, doesn't it? Can I be a little bit of Dennis Downer here, though? That drive, able to go that far, yet they had to kick the field goal to keep playing. You would have thought maybe could they punch it in and go ahead and end it?
We get more free football.
Oh, yeah, good point. I'm back up beat again. Forget the Downer stuff.
Well, the LA offense ready for this next possession. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's 2nd down.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain.
45 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing 2nd and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like 2nd and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a 1st down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Now Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Second down and 3. And now Stafford must not be pleased with something. He's going to turn, and he signals for a timeout. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 3. Here's Stafford. Throws left side. Atwell's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to them. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And we will play on here in overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game and I'll get it done. But this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
Now Wilson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And the timeout coming in here with just 7 seconds remaining in the extra session. And that one will go down in the books as just a one-play drive and then 3 points tacked on to the end of it. Now 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Wilson. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And that's going to be incomplete. One overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. Here's Jamie Gillen now. And in double overtime, this needs to be a good one. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams getting set to go now.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At the 20.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Charles, any chance they go for it here?
I think that there's a chance. They have to consider it because of the way they played offense in this game. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Look at the points that they've put up. They feel confident that they can keep it going. But the risk is, and the downside is, you don't get it here, you've set up your opponent in really good field position.
Here comes the Rams punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. It's taken at the 26. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York set to take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now it's Wilson.
This pass into the hands of Bellinger.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
3rd down. Here's Tracy. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 107 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Right back to him on 1st down. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.